me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I've got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know, we need them. We need those strategies, don't we? Those strategies for living. So are you ready? You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
You know, I think I'm ready.
I
hope everybody's ready.
I don't think you're ready because you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
You're
let
right.
him in.
Yeah,
you,
you're right.
You let him in today.
I don't know why I
You
do that.
opened the door, and there was Scott Tarkowski. Mr. Tarkowski, how are you?
I am fabulous.
You know, every time, folks, welcome to Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillian. She is LPC,
That's right.
Lauren Leon McMillian. And Scott, every time you come to Strategies for Living, you bring us a jewel.
Mm-hmm.
You bring us gold. And you've outdone yourself today.
I think I have. I have been honored to be on the show several times and bring you some really interesting
You're
people.
always welcome, in spite of my humor.
And but I think you are going to be in for a treat today. Absolutely.
I think
So, yeah, Damian Boudreaux. Yeah, good Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
Good Louisiana man, huh?
South I-10.
There you go. Sure. And you've got you're going to bring Damian in for a one-day workshop. And it's a sales workshop, but we'll get into this. It's so much more.
Way more, completely different angle than anything else you've ever done before. And it's, one day, twice, June 8 and 9, and we'll talk more about that.
We'll definitely talk more about that. And, you know, we've talked about this before, the three of us. We're all in sales.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's nobody that's listening to us right now that's not in sales.
Anytime two people meet, sales made.
There you go. There you go. And so, yeah, this is going to focus on selling. It's going to focus on selling cars. We'll talk about that. But it's also going to focus on growing and developing and evolving. And probably Damian will tell us a whole lot more than that.
You're in for a treat.
He is our life strategist today, Damian Boudreaux, here on Strategies for Living. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing,
Roof.
and Learning RX, We Train Your Brain. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessens, pretty good muffies over there. SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. Buckle your seatbelt, come back. You're going to meet Damian Boudreaux. He is our life strategist today, right here on Strategies for Living.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem drab. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, Scott Tarkowski here. Introduce, as I said, you always bring us the best guest, best life strategist. So And you've brought a name that we all know today, Boudreaux. Who doesn't know Boudreaux,
Yeah,
right?
a bunch of jokes about that.
Yeah, well, we'll stay away from Thibodeau and Boudreaux today.
There you go.
Introduce your guest to us.
Well, I am honored to introduce Damian. Being in the automobile industry for a long, long time, Damian's name came up all the time, often, and we had never met, and being out of South Louisiana as well, I spent a lot of time in Lafayette, never met. And I was speaking to my wife, who I think we were just dating at the time. I said, I keep hearing this name, Damian Boudreaux. People ask me all the time, have you ever met him? And I said, no, I haven't met him. And my wife said, you need to reach out to him.
Yeah.
And it was a rainy Saturday, and I on social media, Facebook, we were friends, said something, hey, I'd like to talk with you sometime. And a minute or two later, I get a response, and he says, what's your phone number? And I gave it to him, and he called me.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm in an airport you were in Nashville, Tennessee, in the airport. And we talked for 15, 20 minutes, and that was the start of the friendship. And that was probably, I'm guessing, 12, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Since then, I brought him here once, probably 10 years ago to speak because of my being in the automobile industry. That's the bulk of the seminar. But this is not about selling cars. This is about life and
Living life.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So, so I think you're in for a real treat.
Well, Damian Boudreaux, welcome to Strategies for Living.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Very excited.
It's what you're doing. And by the way, folks, the seminar, and we'll give this several times throughout the program, but June the 8th or the 9th, it'll be, of course, at LSU-S, where Scott does his thing in the University Center, and it's from 8:30 to 4 p.m. So, Damian, how did you get into doing what you do? Because, yes, you do sales, but it's very unique. How did you get into doing this?
I didn't want to get into this.
Okay.
I had a unique way of selling it that I only talked to my customers and my friends. And if I didn't know you, I didn't sell you because I didn't want to put up with a fight. I just wanted to talk to people who already knew me and liked me and trust me, and they didn't have to buy from me. They could do whatever they wanted, and I could be of service.
There you
And I worked for a company in Arlington, Texas, and I'm dropping off some paperwork at the Oldsmobile store, and my name gets paged. And it's the used car manager, and he says, hey, I need you to go teach my salespeople. So I don't teach. He said, no, take them in the conference room, and they had a blackboard on there. And and he said, tell them how you did it. And so I walk in there, and I'm talking for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden the back door opens, and it's the owner of the place.
Oh my
and
gosh.
the owner owns like 25 dealerships, Learjet franchise, Regency yacht sales, Regency conversions. And Damian, what are you doing in my Oldsmobile store? Ron told me to go teach. He said, you need to come see me. Am I fired?
I hadn't even been hired yet. Am I fired?
He said, no, just come. And he said, where'd you learn to teach like that? I don't know how to teach. He said, well, how much you making at Regency? And I told him, and he said, well, you don't work at Regency. You work for me now for a month, and you're teaching all my dealerships.
Oh, man.
And that was the first time I ever taught.
Wow.
And it was quite unique because I was telling people, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right.
Yeah.
And your showroom floor of whatever you sell does not exist on the main street. It exists in your life.
Yeah.
And at the children's basketball game, and at your church, and in the community, and with your tribe. And those people are looking for somebody to protect them. They're looking for somebody who they know and that they feel like they can trust with no effort at all. And that's all I teach. I teach, get good at being you authentically so you can love and care for everyone. And I got that because I grew up in a drugstore. And that's how I was brought up.
A lot of us around here will recognize the name Boudreaux.
Yep.
And
my little
it's,
brother, Doug Boudreaux.
there you
he's
go.
Brilliant. And his wife, Jennifer, both were pharmacists, came up and bought this White's Pharmacy.
Compounding Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Now Boudreaux's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he lived that take care of your community mentality, because that's the way we were brought up. If you couldn't afford your
So
medicine,
this is very much a family thing. Then.
Oh yeah. yeah, your job is to be proud of what you do, and you can't do that if you're taking advantage of people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the goal, is to take care of people.
So, do you remember that? Thank you for describing that first experience. Do you remember before the owner walked in what you were telling them, what you were teaching them? Do you remember?
I do. It was the first time I ever came up with the apple tree, and so it
The
goes
apple tree.
now. Imagine an apple tree, and on the apple tree is all kind of green, unripe apples, and some of them are starting to get ripe.
Yeah.
And what your dealership or your company is going to do is they're going to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars at the local tree, praying that whenever the customer's ready to buy, the apple's going to fall off the tree, roll down the hill, go down the street, and pull into your company saying, please sell me something.
Okay.
And that's not how I did it.
Yeah.
The apple was my tree. And when it fell off the tree, it landed right in my hand. And it was somebody that I already knew and that I loved. And my job was to say, whether you get a vehicle or you don't get a vehicle, I got you.
Yeah.
And what happened was 80 to 90% of the people said, do me next. And it was the easiest thing in the world. So you go from a closing ratio of 20% might buy
Right.
to 80 to 90%
Do
definitely buy.
Yeah.
And the sales process is fast and it's quick and it's easy, and you're more of an advisor to them. You're not really selling them anything. They're
Right.
telling you what they want, and then you're saying, you know, I think I got a silver one out there, and it's brand new. Got the third row in the back, third seat in the back, and it's fully loaded, and the kids will love it. And let me go get it. And so you're literally telling your customer what to take,
Yeah.
and because you know them.
Right.
You know what they want.
You've matched that up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so the simplicity is incredible. And the pride, because you never have to apologize for telling somebody, look, I don't think you should get that one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good for you.
Yeah.
I think, and so telling somebody they not to buy is just as valuable as asking somebody, you know, if
You
they wanna
don't
buy.
you don't hear that much
Yeah.
though, do you?
No, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm not here to sell anything. I'm here to let you buy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I bet you get a few raised eyebrows at first in the
Yeah.
first 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before the audience gets to know you. I bet you're used to some raised eyebrows.
I used to be.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows me.
Yeah.
But in 2007, when I decided to go off and start teaching relationship selling, nobody wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
And nobody could believe that there were people. You know, the first person I helped to get to 100 was Derek in Honolulu.
And you're talking 100 cars
A month.
a month,
Right.
which is incredible.
Yeah.
Scott and I were talking 30 cars a month is
Yeah, 20, 25
yeah.
cars is a top sales guy
Yeah.
in every market.
Well, the myth is they say you can make $100,000 a year. But the truth is you can make $100,000 a month. And there's a lot of salesmen making more than $100,000 a month.
wow.
Just helping their friends and their community, and they're a magnet for them. They're not marketing there. They're just there being part of the community, and the community says when it's time, they don't go to internet, they don't go to AI, they go to that earthling who they
Right.
trust,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's all this is.
Yeah.
Because the business of business is people. Your product isn't anything.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much unless you're somebody with a unique product, I can get your product anywhere.
Yeah.
And I can get a knockoff of it anywhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So getting the Chevrolet, the Dodge, the Chrysler, the
How many
couch,
unique products are out there
They're not.
in any industry? They're not. No.
It's the person that matters.
Right.
And a salesman's inventory is people. The more people that know you, it's not what you know or who you know, it's who knows you. And the more people that know you, you'll have a better chance of being successful.
Right.
And you don't need word tracks, and you don't need games, and you don't need to be fake. You just need to be real. And you don't have to apologize for sounding the way you do, looking the way you do, being the way you are. Everything you are is perfect inside when you are who you are at your best. And that's all you have to be. Show up like that every day with work. You got to work.
Sure.
The challenge is work ethic is terrible if you don't know how to work, right?
Right. Right. And so what I'm hearing, again, I'm repeating myself now, but I think it's important to underscore this. And every mom and dad should be there listening to this because they're salesmen, especially if they have teenagers.
Absolutely.
Well, teenagers, their job is to sell different than the 8-year-old.
Mm.
The 8-year-old sales process is about connection to mom and dad.
Right.
The 13-year-old presentation is defiant.
Is separating from mom and dad. Sure.
Right. And defiance is a great quality because it lets them know, I don't know who I am, mom, but I know I am not you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's powerful because now they're just delineating, this is what I'm about. Right. And now how they get that, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So Damian Boudreaux is going to be in town at LSU Shreveport. Scott Tarkowski is doing his thing again. It's June the 8th and the 9th, either or, and it's from 8:30 until 4 at the university, one university place at University Center. And the best way you can sign up for this is call my friend Scott. You can get Scott Tarkowski on either Facebook or Instagram, or you can give him a call, 318-393-5219. I'm going to say that again, and I'll give the number several times today. 318-393-5219. That's Scott Tarkowski. I promise he'll answer the phone, or he'll get right back to you.
100%.
There's my friend Scott. Damian Boudreaux, our life strategist today. We're already learning so much, and we've got so much more to come right here on Strategies for Living. And welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Scott Tarkowski's done it again, I tell you. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren, Leon McMillian, David McMillian with Damian Boudreaux today, our life strategist. Now, Damian, I hope you will excuse me. I got to plug some books here, okay? First book.
Wait. I got to say something.
Okay. All right.
I love the music.
Oh, thank you. Thank
I
you.
love the music.
Thank you.
Strategies for dancing. You need to have one that's Zydeco, though.
That's right.
We'll work on that.
All right.
We gotta have some Zydeco Cajun in there. Yeah.
We'll work on
do
that. We'll work on that.
Definitely.
So the first book you wrote, Keep It Simple Selling.
Yeah.
And Scott, you told me this is like the Bible.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to read that one.
So it's the comprehensive auto sales training manual. I've already now met Damian, so I know it's a sales. Yeah, it's about car sales, but it's about selling. It's about living. It's about evolving.
Yeah.
Am I right, Damian?
Yeah. That's the recipe book.
Yeah.
That's the book as I was working with Ali and Khalil and Derek and Dylan and Connie and all my high achievers. I handed the manuscript for that, and they, this is what you've been teaching me.
Yeah.
and
got a forward by the #1 car sales person in the world. Right?
Yeah.
Ali
Rita.
Rita.
He was thoughtful enough to write the forward in there. For
And
me.
then you co-wrote a book with him. Huh?
Yeah. Now that's a fun story about why we wrote the book. We weren't going to write a book. He of all the people I helped get to 100, he was, or even the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, and Cal and all those high achievers. He was the first one who ever said, "How can I help?" And I said, "Oh, you can get on stage with me. You could speak. Come up on stage with me." And so we were in Detroit, and there was about 250 people in the room, and he got on stage, and he sucked. He was scared to death. He said, throwing the first pitch out in the Detroit Tigers game is easier than standing on stage. And so after that, we decided to write the book, and so I called Julie Eason, was my ghostwriter at the time, now my publisher.
Right.
And she said, "Oh, yeah, let's do that." And so that book, How to Sell 100 Cars a Month, is about getting to your next level.
And it's a neat little book. It's a short,
70
book,
pages.
70 pages or so, but it's, again, your books are packed full. Now, here's what I love.
Yeah.
Here's what I absolutely love. Yeah. Okay. So Keep It Simple Selling. How to Sell 100 Cars a Month. Those books, you can go on Amazon, you can order them. But here's what I love, Damian. You've taken what you do and you've written a couple of children's books.
Yes.
The Magic List, Who Are You Today? Wow. And The Club, Who Are You Today? And you're my new hero. You're my new hero because, I don't know, what level you imagined, but they're kids' books. They're simple books. If people can learn the concepts that you're talking about, like I am, and we'll talk about that a bit, then it doesn't matter what they go into. They're gonna find success in life, huh?
Yeah. Because confidence and belief, belief systems, keep you from either being successful or failing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or willing to fail.
Yeah.
The kids' books are divine. They are built. The Magic List is written for kids who are in the hospital, are sick, are afraid. And I came up with that when a parent came up to me. Her daughter had got bucked off a horse, and she was paralyzed, and she was ready to commit suicide. And the mom brought me in and introduced me to her. And for some reason, I came up with something close to the story in there, and I told it to her about a little boy going to the hospital and a little girl seeing
Does
him.
this stuff just download to
Oh,
you?
it's just downloaded. It's just downloaded. And at the end of it, I called Julie, my writer, and I said, I think I wrote another book, but it's a story. And she said, video it. So I did the little video, and we started doing our little, our tennis match where we bounce it back and forth.
Right.
And the Magic List came, and all of a sudden, Shriners Hospital and St. Jude's and FedEx out of Memphis started sponsoring the book, and kids all over the world started getting the book in the hospital, in hospitals. And it's about a little boy who's scared and a little girl who's in the hospital. It says, everything gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You just have your life on backwards. It's like your shoes are on the wrong feet, and you got to learn how to put your shoes on the right feet.
There you go.
But it's the same thing with life. You just got to learn how to put your life on the right feet.
Yeah.
And so that book dovetailed into the one that was for elementary schools,
And that's The Club.
and that's the club, and
Who
that's
Are You
for
Today?
schools. That was originally done as a curriculum for elementary schools all over the country, and it in 2019, 2020, COVID hit, and kids weren't in schools, so they weren't doing the activities, and so it just went away.
Right.
And it'd be nice if the book came back, but I didn't put any effort into either one of those books going viral or getting the traction they did. They just happened.
Well,
right?
it's just what you teach, right? When
Yeah.
you get in alignment with who you are, and you become a magnet for everything and everyone that is meant for you in your path.
Exactly
Yeah,
right. Exactly right. Who am I at my best? When
Yeah.
you start seeing yourself at your best, I am thoughtful, I'm caring, I'm loving, then your reflection in the mirror means I can start seeing him. And then I learned to label him. Scott, you are strong, you are smart, you are thoughtful, you are bold, you are kind. And so we taught the kids to label.
Yeah.
And if I am this and Scott is this, then we can, which is the third part of the book,
Yeah.
accomplish anything.
Absolutely.
And we is the collective. And when you look at, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, that's just everything you are. Third dimension is very busy and everything that's going on in life. And then fourth dimension is I am nothing.
Yep.
And I'm void. And that's the safest space in the world to be if you can shut everything down in front of you and behind you. And then the fifth dimension is I am everything. And when everything and you are one with everything, then we're all the same energy and frequency, and all colors are important, and all viewpoints are exactly the way they're supposed to be. And there is no good, there is no bad. We're all one. Everything,
Right.
the yin and the yang is a dance. They're both beautiful. They're both necessary.
Absolutely.
They both need each other.
He sounds like a strategies for living show.
And it doesn't
doesn't
sound like a car seminar, does it?
No, it doesn't sound like it. But by the way, folks, June the 8th or the 9th is when you want to be at LSU Shreveport, because you're going to spend a day with Damian Boudreaux. And it doesn't matter if you're selling cars, if you're selling furniture, if you're selling RVs, it doesn't matter. Or if you're trying to sell your 8-year-old or your 15-year-old on behaving a little better or making better grades or whatever, because we're all in sales.
I told everybody that's already signed up for the event. I said, listen, get a good night's sleep, dress comfortably, bring a new notebook with you, bring a couple of pens. You're going to get a workbook. We're going to feed you lunch, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I say you're going to work and you're going to learn and you're going to walk out different.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you can escape that.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
They literally will. There's a point in the seminar where you have to move past the demons that you think exist to hold you back.
Do we all think
Yeah.
demons exist? Is that a universal thing?
Well, the
Damian?
demons of your trauma, your fear,
Right.
your anger, your sadness, your guilt, your resentment, all the things that were designed to protect you.
Right.
Yeah.
Your
Absolutely.
hallucination of protection.
Yeah.
And go, I don't need to. I did that when I was 12. Wow. Why do I'm 35 now. I'm carrying around the same wound.
You can put your
At
tools
35.
down.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You won't be needing that anymore. That's just holding you back.
Yeah.
And so guaranteed they'll walk past and they'll let it all go. And they won't even know they did it. They just all of a sudden they'll take a breath and
again,
they'll surrender.
tell me how many degrees you have in psychology.
Zero. I'm not.
tell me how many certificates you have for treating trauma. And
I got mine the old fashioned way.
Yeah?
I died inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't learn from trauma by surviving trauma. You know, when life unwittingly drags you through the deepest, darkest bowels of hell, and you somehow or another you come out on the other side muddy and scarred, and that's not where you grow.
Yeah.
That's just where you survived.
Yeah.
You grow from turning around and going back into the abyss. And you go into the abyss and you get the mud all over you, and you look under the carpets, and you move the old furniture, and you move the wounds, and you dig out the scars, and you cry, and and then the questions, the premise of the questions are, if this was all my fault, what could I have done better? If this was all my fault, what could I have done different? If I had to do something different, where are my opportunities for growth? And when you go back into the abyss and you surrender everything, you not only come out as I am nothing, and that's perfect, and I have nothing to lose.
Right.
But you also have the ability to start feeling and intuiting the scars of others due to your wounds.
Yeah.
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 And so you see things, and once you start seeing things, you can't unsee.
You can't unsee. Yeah.
No, because they're everywhere. Everybody's got different color vibrations and frequencies and illnesses and
Yeah. And when you're able to clear your lens, then you can see clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not trapped in the future of the past.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Because yesterday and tomorrow are meaningless.
Yeah,
Like
you're
30
in the
seconds,
eternal now.
You're in the eternal now, and everything that's now is the only thing that's important.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Only
something
thing that
about
is.
selling is everybody counts their numbers, and that's in the past. Don't
count your numbers.
What you sold yesterday is unimportant.
It's
It
about
is.
now. Well, you're going to want to be at this seminar. You truly are. June the 8th or the 9th, LSU Shreveport University Center, Scott Tarkowski production, 318-393-5219. That's Scott's number. You can call him for more info. And Damian's got a little available time, so if you're interested, call Scott, 318-393-5219. It's Scott Tarkowski on Facebook and Instagram. You can look him up. We've got some more valuable, precious time today with Damian Boudreaux, and we're gonna squeeze everything we can in the next 9 minutes. We're gonna work him hard as a life strategist, and I hope you'll be at the seminar and join me there. We'll be back. More strategies to come.
We all have
have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies, strategies, strategies for living radio.
Welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren, Leon McMillian, David McMillian, Scott Tarkowski, Damian Boudreaux with us today. Okay, let's get on the table what needs to be on the table here. The just the fact. You know, you remember Joe Friday.
Yep, just
the
the
facts,
facts.
ma'am. Just the facts.
Well, Damian's here in town. He's been here for about 3 weeks now, and he's got another week or so left. He has been going around the city, or about the region. We've been up to Texarkana, out to Longview, and he's giving sales meetings to sales teams, 35, 40, 45-minute sales meetings for free. We have booked him up, probably has about 3 days available. Also spending some evenings with management teams, and that's key.
Right.
Helping managers learn how to lead people and
Because that's sales.
develop. Yeah,
Sure.
and it's another way of looking at it.
Sure.
But he's got some free time to go out there. He'll do that for free as well. Maybe buy him a hamburger or something like that. But there's no charge to you. So if you're interested in that kind of information, same thing. You can reach me at my phone number 318-393-5219, and I'll get you set up with that as well as well as a seminar.
Right. So, Damian, what do we need to know that's going to happen
You need to
during
know-
this seminar? Yeah, what do we need to know?
Scott needs to say his numbers slower.
I know what it is.
I love it. So let me do this. 318-393-5219. I mean, you know,
I'm new at this.
That's fast. Yeah.
we're working with him. What do we need to know about what's going to happen?
About what the seminar is about?
Yeah.
Okay, so we cover a lot in 7 hours. The first thing salespeople have to learn how to do is find customers. They can't be at the mercy of dealer-driven opportunities all the time.
Right.
They have to learn to be a magnet. There's 2 different ways to accomplish that. There's the magnet of marketing, where you're pulling people in who still don't know you, like you, or trust you. They're just you just fulfill a need.
Right.
And then there's your group, your relationships,
Your folks, yeah.
and connecting to your tribe in a way that when they're ready, they'd be an absolute idiot not to reach out to you.
Right.
And then that deal is simple. So where do you find people? How do you build that business? The next thing is about understanding yourself, who you are, what are you really good at, so that you can magnify that, and what do you really suck at, so you can avoid it, right?
Okay.
Because you don't need
Know
to-
thyself.
Yeah, you don't need to figure out what you do badly and try to get good at it, so you can be miserable and average. Yeah. And so understanding yourself, understanding what makes you tick, what are your buttons, and then that will help you understand your customer better. And when you start to understand your customer better, and you start to lead your customer to believe that you're trying to understand them better, that's a natural ingredient to build trust, because they want you to understand them. But you can't understand them if you're just hallucinating. What's this about? So you have to learn how to ask great questions.
Yeah.
And the next thing is you have to learn and understand, how do you do your business in a more intelligent way to make it more productive, more efficient, more scalable, more profitable. The longer you sell, the longer you sell, the more you should sell with less effort.
Right.
You shouldn't have to work all the time. They should just be able to have people come in. And that is about how to do the business. The next thing is about closing a customer. Closing a customer is not having a bunch of word tracks or ripping somebody's head off and throwing up down their neck. What it means is I want customers to come in and at the end of the journey say, I didn't even come in to buy a car today.
I love it.
And guaranteed, it was the easiest path they've ever been on. You understood that what they want is no risk. The best time to overcome an objection is before they get them. So you give them all the reasons why they should consider you and what they don't have to make a decision about today. And so you eliminate all risk. The next thing you know, they float down the bayou. All the alligators and snakes and mosquitoes are on vacation that weekend. They get out of the boat, they go over the bridge, and they say, I surrender. And there's a book called Sun Tzu, Art of War.
Oh, sure.
And that book is about that.
Yeah.
The general says you can have 100 battles with a guaranteed 100 victories. Or you can have no battles, only victories. Well, what about, let's just take the only victories.
Sure.
And the way you set a deal up and take care of a customer means it's not your motive. you're relatable to them, you have skills and abilities, and you're trying to understand them. The next thing is about keeping a customer, and that's not about you sold them 2,000 pounds of metal and steel. That's about the fact that you connected to them on a human level deeper than I sold you a truck.
Right.
It's deeper because we're connected in the community some way. There's a similarity between us.
Sure.
And once that similarity comes up at the end of the deal, now I have a connection and a reason why you would come back.
Right.
The next thing is about energy. And I tell salespeople, you're responsible for every relationship. If a relationship isn't working, it's your fault. You're a genius with people. But you're not connecting and you're not recognizing that everything you do is creating a frequency between you and the customer. When you have somebody and you feel like, oh my God, I've known this person my whole life, you're vibrating at the similar frequency. When it's like, man, this person I don't connect with them. It's because you're out of alignment with their energy. Intuition is critical to who people are. There are people who are listening to this broadcast right now that have literally had their back to the door. Somebody walks in the room. You don't know why it knocked on your soul, but you turned around and you were immediately repulsed by or attracted to that person before you saw them.
Yep.
That's energy.
Yep.
And we have this gift of energy, but we have to start just taking a breath and being aware of it and being part of it.
Yeah.
The next thing is about mindset, and that's about the sabotage buttons. That's about what you and I do when it comes to therapy and helping people move past the demons, the traumas, the sabotage buttons, the fear, the anger, the sadness, the pain, the guilt, the resentment, the regret of our past. And how do you do that? Well, you have to know who you are at your best and why you're holding on to the yesteryear that caused you to believe a certain thing that doesn't serve you in the now. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. And once you attach, what did I learn from it?
Right.
Then life will never be the same. And so those are some of the things that the seminar is going to be about.
Going to be an exciting time. Going to be an exciting
You
day.
coming?
Of course I'm. How could I?
How could you turn that down?
How could I miss this? Okay.
I'm buying you lunch.
You want another chance to practice?
Sure.
Okay. What's your phone number?
Scott Tarkowski at 318-393-5219.
How did he do?
And again,
318-393-5219.
By
There he
George,
goes.
I think he's got it. And you can also find him, Scott Tarkowski, on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, SRT sales training. It's all over
There
there.
you go.
Can't miss us.
I'll put the info in the podcast description too.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Thank you.
There you
Thank
go.
are y'all on Stockbook and Instabrag and TikTok too?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. June the 8th or the 9th, 8:30 to 4 p.m., LSU Shreveport at University Center. And folks, you do not want to miss this one. The only complaint I have for any of this is, Damian, I need you for another 3 or 4 hours. But our producer's in there shaking his fist at me, saying, "No, we got to get off the air." So, maybe you'll bring him back.
Absolutely. He knows the way now.
He knows the way.
It's in his phone.
I love it. And he's got relatives here. Yeah, can't beat it. Damian Boudreaux, you need to see him. You need his books, How to Sell 100 Cars a Month, Keep It Simple Selling, and the kids' books, The Magic List and The Club, Who Are You Today? They're all available on Amazon. We'll be back to wrap up today with Damian Boudreaux right here on Strategies for Living. And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Scott Tarkowski, Lauren McMillian, David McMillian. You've done it again. You know that?
By George, I believe I have.
He's outdone it.
You've outdone it this
tell
time.
you.
Told you.
Damian, yeah, you did. Damian Boudreaux. And Damian, we've had such a fascinating conversation today. I hope it's the first of many.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think, I think you've snuck a psychology or some kind of degree in on us, but we'll find that out later. This has been a fascinating conversation. If you could get into people's heads and leave one thing with them, what would you leave?
please be kind to the person who brushes your hair or shaves your head in the morning. Please treat them well. Forgive them for being human and making mistakes. On this planet, you are not perfect. You do not have to be impressive. You just have to be who you are today. And then you can accept others knowing that they are exactly where they're supposed to be, and think the way they're supposed to think, and believe what they're supposed to believe. And if we all learned to do that, our earth would be a better place.
Beautiful.
Amen.
Beautiful, beautiful. I need to sell him what I want to know what he's doing 3 years from now, because I think we need him.
You need some of that.
We need some of that in Washington. There you go. Again, Scott, thank you. Lauren, thank you. Damian, thank you. Look forward to the next time you come on Strategies.
Thank you, sir.
Folks, thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Learning RX, We Train Your Brain, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Muffy, SRT Sales Training, Uprising, Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call you could make, well, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Damian Boudreaux, for Scott Tarkowski, for LPC Lauren Leon McMillian, I'm David McMillian. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.